Alright, we are back here in day 2 of this Gabriel Knight Sins of the Fathers playthrough right here on Let's Play with Brigands. Plenty of things we learned in day 1, plenty to go here, probably in day 2. So let's save and start the day right. We already had our coffee. So let's read the paper, see what we got today.
Times Picayune, dated June 19, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the Voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new.
The one at the park we saw yesterday.
The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him.
Certainly did.
Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square.
That creepy mime that rubs up on everybody.
La Plaza d'Armas. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. Yikes. Of course, these days it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope.
It's like I warned you.
Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instinct.
Do not trust
I feel a dark star rising, all right.
Getty. Yes, I'm excited about seeing her as well, Gabriel. Anything to talk to Grace about today? She's wearing the same thing as yesterday, but then so am I, so I guess I can't say anything.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What'd you get into last night? I thought it said massages. Any new messages?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
I had like 10 messages yesterday. Now I got nothing. I guess there's nothing new. Oh yeah, here we go.
Do you know what caprice encore means?
No. Sounds French, though.
Okay.
Do you know anything?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Very funny. I mean real snakes. You know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay, thanks.
I already read it.
Could you do...
Sure.
I can't think of...
Okay.
All right. Well, let's head on out. We got places to be.
I'll be back later.
Don't hurry back on my account.
Okay. Here's we can like a daily routine where we check in with Mosley, maybe. Oh, why did I say car? That is his mode of transportation. Huh, that's different. What are they working on the thermostat? Light switch? Let's mess with it. I just come and go as I like at this point.
It looks a bit heavy. Gabriel skipped a copier repairman classes at vocational school.
Did I break it yesterday?
There's a photocopy machine. The electrician has left it. Gabriel is no handyman. Why do that? The electrician has left. Why do that with the electrician's tools?
What was he working on? Ah, thermostat. It was on 90. I don't know, what's... Do you want to make it freezing in here? Is that what we're doing? I don't know. What is the point of... I don't know. Just mess with it in general. I don't know. See if our friend has come up with anything new since yesterday. Maybe that's just us checking in on him.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up. Whew, it's hot in here.
Huh?
Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
Guy was out there messing with it.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
I didn't set it that high. Right? Probably something in his jacket now. We want him out of the room. Coffee, please. I know the score.
Can I ask you, have you ever called?
Not till I insult him.
So how'd you ever find anything in this office? It looks like ground zero.
Hey, I get my job done. I'm a detective, not Betty Crocker.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee.
What am I, your slave?
Hey, I'm working my butt off here.
Yeah, fine. Some people are never satisfied.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of use out of the coffee in this game. Coffee's very helpful to me. Check that jacket. What's he even got in the
I
jacket?
think I'll just borrow this bag.
Oh my god.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
He said that as he was drinking it. No, but seriously, was there nothing new to
Can I
talk
ask
about?
What do you know about the Voodoo murders?
Same as you.
What else do you want?
Yeah, nothing new, I guess.
Never mind.
I'll wait till
Sure.
killer strikes again, I guess.
Have you ever?
Not since...
Do you have any idea what Capri sans car means?
There you go.
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough.
That's the truth, yep.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Have a good one.
Thanks for the coffee there, Mosley. Mostly. Alright. Let's see. Probably nothing new with the drugstore. Still gotta go to the Voodoo Museum. Still need to check out the cemetery for Granny. There's a cathedral. Anything left at the square? Kind of want to like hit these places I've already been just to make sure they're clean. Yeah, nothing new going on here. Beignet Man.
You mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yep, I mind, all right.
Oh,
Why?
Because A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh,
took a real long time to get out. Interrogating the little boy.
Interrogating the little boy wouldn't be very useful.
Was there a delay on this screen?
could I get a lucky dog, please?
There you go.
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person
In the 90s.
in the 90s? Amazing.
Okay.
There's no reason to... The vendor... The lucky dog vendor has his nose buried in a paperback novel. The vendor... There's no... The vendor...
You mind if?
Yep,
Sell me a freaking hot dog.
Hello.
Oh, whatever.
There is... A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a lucky
trying.
dog vendor.
Nobody's gonna get a hot dog out of that man for some reason. I don't get it. This square has its uses.
The vendor.
What if I show you a graphic photo of a murder victim? Why would
the
he?
vendor be interested in that?
Does that mean I have something they might be interested in, like some sweet hair gel? How about this? How about you sell me a hot dog, or I'll arrest your ass?
There's no reason to.
Yeah, I don't know what that delay is about. Here's a gift certificate to my bookstore. What?
I have this gift certificate.
That's what I thought.
I'm busy.
I have this gift.
It's good.
He
for
likes
20
books.
bucks at St. George's.
That makes
Books,
sense.
Finest bookstore in New Orleans.
I know. Can I interest you in this soiled tissue?
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you.
There you go.
If you'll give me a lucky dog.
A lucky dog for a $20 gift.
Lucky dog.
Well, sure. Here you go.
Sucker. Got a houses right now. I haven't eaten in 2 days. Best I can tell. Alright. This kid probably wants one, right?
You wouldn't like a lucky dog by any chance.
Would I? Thanks, mister.
Wow.
You got any special requests? Let me know.
Dance harder? I don't know. We got a friend for life in this kid now.
Interrogating the little.
How about when the Saints...
Hey guys, Saints!
You got it, kid.
I don't think your dancing changed one bit though, but how long do I have to stand here? That was great, thanks.
That was great. Thanks.
No problem.
I don't know what that delay's about. Man, they're doing it too. Literally everyone's, ooh, I'm an artist too. Check out my sketches. It's a log jam right here.
What would the artist do with that?
I don't know. Critique them? Compliment me? There's a juggler down there. Sweet. Man. All kinds of creative types hang out in this park.
Could I ask you some...
I'd rather not. I really get focused when I'm drawing.
Okay. Nice drawing of the cathedral.
Thanks.
It's really precise.
Well, I'm an architectural student, actually. It's good practice.
Huh. Doesn't help me at all, but huh. Let's talk to the juggler.
juggler is.
Oh.
The
With juggling. This guy was here the other day.
that the drummer is unlikely to listen to. The drummer is.
These things change up or anything?
Hey, come back here. Hey!
Nope. Now's my chance. To mess with his stuff. Wait, what? Okay.
The artist would not appreciate Gabriel messing with his stuff while he's gone.
That's like literally what I said too. All right. Let's see if we can't help him. I'm sure this is all going to come together somehow.
Unbelievable. Rotten luck.
Everything okay? That guy just ran right up on him.
Could I ask you...
I...
Okay. How's...
Well, life sucks. I just lost...
I
What you working
saw.
on?
Just starting another draw.
Huh. See if we can't get that back for him, I guess. A lot going on at this square. Can you reach? Nope.
Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is.
Let's see. Tweezers.
This is
The special extendy kind?
Using-
No. Hey kid, I figure you owe me a favor. Grab me that sketch.
interrogating the little boy wouldn't be very useful.
That's my request. Fit through the bars.
Can you fit
There you
through
go.
the bars around the statue?
I like it.
Can I? Just watch me.
This kid's really excited
Good.
about that.
There's something in there I can't quite reach. Come on.
Man, it's like, can you find a way to say that that's not super
Can you
creepy?
reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you go. Yep. See ya.
Thanks, kid. Right on. Pay it forward. Just goes to show. Do your good deed for the day, and we're about to do another one, actually. Doubling up here in day 2. And that horoscope said, don't trust our instincts.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate
I
to
bought
see
him the
you
hot
lose your
dog
work.
already.
I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
That's why I did it.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
What would...
All right, hold on. Can I show you my...
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
Pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
No.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll just wait
I'll
till
see
we
what I
get some
can
more
do.
murders. Yeah, that's right. I'm sure more people will be brutally murdered. Then I'll come back. Awesome. I need to give him this one as well.
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now.
Well, that's all you needed?
I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Awesome.
Great. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, let's check back in with that guy on day 3. Note to self. All right, let's get out of here. Let's head back to, is there like an easy way to get out of here besides where I came from? I'll follow up on that address, I guess, that Grace got us. That was weird. I say it like, I guess I could go investigate and talk to the super attractive lady that we saw yesterday. So she's not going to be here. She's going to be
Please select it.
farther out.
Please.
Getty Estate. I have not tried the 20th anniversary edition. No. And this is my first experience with this one here. Lovely flowers.
Gabriel didn't come. The knocker is...
No, I suppose he didn't.
Gabriel can't get in. This... The knocker... The knock...
Keep forgetting that operate command.
May I help you?
Magazines for sale.
I'd like to see Malia Gedde, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
It's an official business.
I do have official business.
Yeah!
Really? Please tell me the nature of your business. Mind if I ask you? Yes. I've got important. Yes. I'm waiting for some evidence of that.
Evidence? Ah, the badge. I'm with the feds.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Gedde.
Gabriel, you were playing with fire. Tim Curry did the butler?
Miss Gedde will see you. Right this way.
Ah, okay. When he said way, I was
Miss
like,
Getty will be down.
Home Alone 2.
Thank you.
Double dipping, Tim Curry. Well done. Here she is.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Let's go back to Gabriel. Is that a mistake? I'm sure it's fine. Let's eye her up first.
Undoubtedly proof that there is a God.
Did you just say it out loud? I'm sorry. What'd you say, Mr. Knight?
You'll have to get her to cooperate.
Trying to operate Miss Getty.
You'll
Yeah.
have to.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Gedde?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
All right. Should we just open with the flirt? You can't open with the flirt. We should ask her about herself first.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
I'm an only
And your
child.
father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large, extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband? A boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married.
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
Here we go. This is what this delivery was designed for. Woman like Miss Getty.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I do a lot of charity work around the city, primarily in the prison and reform system. I'm not a professional sociologist, but it does interest me.
It's weird that the delivery sounded sexier when he was talking to his grandmother when he asked her, I'd like to hear just about anything, versus when he's talking to this attractive woman right here.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a
A lot of
business
emphasis
degree
on
from
that anything.
Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh? Why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please, I do have some morals, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
For the record, I'm 28, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a few friends. A woman in my position can't really afford them.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I try to stay away from the media as much as possible. Last year there was that story about John Kennedy Jr. and I. The phone didn't stop ringing for weeks. I prefer to
dating
keep
Elaine
my
Bennis.
private life private. I would appreciate it if you would keep my name away from any public association with the police, Detective.
Of course. I'd like to hear just about anything.
I do a lot
Bye-bye.
of charity work around the...
All right.
As you wish, Detective.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
Silly?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
That's right.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
Yeah, I've been meaning to go
I
there,
believe There is
actually.
a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
It's on my to-do list. My voodoo list.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
Quite sure.
Okay.
What do you know about,
About the
voodoo
murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Sure, we're really hard up for leads. We're going door to door asking folks, did you commit the voodoo murders?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only...
Yeah, okay.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked
On the
very
nose.
hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now.
All right, Gabriel. Keep in your pants.
Tell me more about New Orleans.
Lord.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it.
Yeah.
But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
All right.
Yes, I can see that. Tell me more.
I don't know what else you want to hear, Detective.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm afraid I quite abhor them.
Do you have any idea
She's got to know,
what
right?
Sanskar means?
Well-educated woman.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am. Do you have any...
No.
Nice response.
Have you ever heard of a
Schottenjäger.
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with that, Detective.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Can you...
I wish I could.
All right. Moment we've all been waiting for. Why we're really here.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep, rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a...
Is that your A material,
Thank you,
Gabriel?
Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
Ah,
I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
no.
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well,
I just
am
did. I'm
researching
flirting with
the
you.
book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out.
It almost sounds like a variation on the beep in King's Quest 4.
Show Mr. Knight out, please.
Gladly.
I most certainly will.
Yeah, that's more Tim
Thank you
Curry.
very much. I had a lovely time. Shit.
I had a lovely time. Is there anything around the grounds I want to check out? All right, I guess we're leaving. All right. I think it's finally time to check out that museum. About time we actually learned something about voodoo, considering our entire
my friend.
case revolves around it.
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
What's that guy doing?
A street drummer has settled outside the museum.
What the hell that was?
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
No flirt option, I see. What's up with that?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Both.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical?
Okay.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
That's what everyone says.
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate, and for the same reason, to intimidate.
Huh.
I know voodoo in this city,
Well
Mr.
said.
Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
So,
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest
That's
is
true.
in how... So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
We have a gift. What can I say?
what do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
Hello, Joe.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight, but snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
Do you have any idea?
Someone's got to be able to translate this for me.
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
I have not.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Oh, that's Michael Dorn. Okay. Mr. Worf from Star Trek. Good look, Obi.
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Just
So
tell
you-
me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Just tell me anything.
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Just wait for the second game, Gabriel.
Just tell me anything.
I do not care for small talk, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am not an easy person to get to know. I am a very private man.
Ghost.
Isn't that unusual for someone in the museum business?
Not at all. My displays speak for me.
Just tell me anything.
Not everyone can come see the museum, so I occasionally do public speaking on the subject of historical voodoo.
Anything coming up that I might attend?
No. But then you have me all to yourself right now, do you?
Oh. But flirt options open now.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then,
Oh, here we go.
should I?
She referred me to your museum.
Many have read about our museum in the newspapers, Mr. Knight.
That's a good point. Are you sure you don't know Malia Gedde?
Quite sure, Mr. Knight.
Are you?
Quite
Tell me about historical voodoo.
very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight. if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early Voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real king.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight.
Have you?
Look
You
around the
stopped at
museum
like
if you
18
desire
something.
more.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of
They do it on
magic
Twitch.
spells or greenery. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Tell me more.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling greenery, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
I mean, she was
She
supposed to be in the
lives on
credits.
the
Why
corner
not?
of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Sound.
Great.
Do the sound.
Thanks.
There it is.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
You have tapped my resources. My expertise is really historical. Perhaps Miss Moonbeam can be of further help.
Is there anything else I should know about voodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Voodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooians in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However, she achieved it.
Yeah.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously. Very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
Make a living. What the hell was that?
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented
Certainly got a fondness for
if
them.
not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of voodoo.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Anything else?
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view.
History knows better, though.
Died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Have you ever... Tell me...
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the
Whoa.
Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
Well, that's a nice
It
coincidence.
is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular
Maybe I'll see you over there.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No. But the cemetery is open to the general
Gravel told you to
public
go
as
there. State Farm is there like a good neighbor. Yeah, I can hear that too. All right. And you don't know any more about
Are you sure you don't know Malia Gedde?
Quite.
Malia Gedde? Anyone who says, when they're asked, are you sure you don't know anything about something, and they say, quite sure, that always means they know more about it. But, all right, that was very useful. Is that guy providing the percussive accompaniment? I guess not, because he stops sometimes, but it does kind of seem like it's in sync with that. All right. That was very useful. I think it's time to check out.
I'll be going.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
I like talking to that guy. That was very informative. I feel like I learned quite a bit. There's the Moonbeam residence. We can learn more about voodoo. And voodoo. But let's head up to that St. Louis Cemetery. St. Louis Cemetery, number 1. Looks like the guy on the, whatever the ship from Space Quest 6 was. He looks like the Undertaker there. Anyway, let's see if he has anything to say. Some symbols on the side of that.
I'm sorry to bother you.
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Maybe that was the idea, that he was meant to look like that guy in Space Quest 6. It was a reference to this game.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't really care to talk about it. I don't do it none myself.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
It's like, are you
I
deaf,
don't
man?
really care to...
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them?
It's not great.
I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody trying to cover their tracks is all.
I don't know. It's like, just And the fact that everyone's saying it's not real voodoo kind of makes me suspect it might be real voodoo. They're trying to throw us off the scent here.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I told you all I know about that.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seem like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tour. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
There's lots of things to see here, but none are as beautiful as the St. Louis Cemetery #1.
St. Louis Cemetery?
What can you...
Hey, if you want to know more...
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
Do you have any idea what Caprice Saint-Coeur means?
No, can't say that I do.
Go without horns?
Do you have any idea what Caprice Saint...
No.
And it's,
Do you know anything about...
sacrificial.
I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
Anything about snakes?
I don't...
Okay.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodoo queen and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leaving offerings. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from the Voodoo Museum, he's here at least once today.
Huh.
But Marie Laveau's tomb ain't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
Who else do they see? Well, we'll get to that. Well, let's ask now.
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and corn greens. Animal parts, human parts even, it looked like. Male parts, if you get my meaning.
Oh, unfortunately, I do.
This at one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
Huh.
What other...
No, I ain't one for naming names. I don't like to encourage that kind of thing. It's distressing to the families, and rightly so. Don't know how that sort of thing gets started. Why folks come to start leaving stuff at that one spot. But it happens all the same.
Tell me about yourself.
Get a whole
My
list
name
here.
is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis #1.
That's a good
What
St.
exactly
Louis,
do you do here?
St. Louis,
Oh,
New
I
Orleans
keep
name.
things tight, it costs. But a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound they don't know what they doing.
Yeah. Nice we don't have like a whole laundry list of things to ask him about himself.
What else?
Her tombs on all our tombs. Even the Baptists come round here to go. Of course, you may not know this, but some of the real serious voodoo types argue that she ain't in this one at all, but down in an unmarked tomb in #3. It's all the same to me, I say. Save me a lot of cleanup work if she weren't here, if you ask me.
What else?
Boy, go out and buy a book if you really want to know.
Alright, fair enough.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery #1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves.
Yeah.
Them dead would go floating right down into the ground. Of course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice.
Probably right.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery #1.
It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War and back further, too. Take a look around, you'll see.
Tell me some...
Just look around, just... No, don't know how...
Tell me.
That's about...
Alright. Thanks for the time. So, let's get our sketchbook out here, get whatever this is. Looks like something
I
we
want
could...
a copy of these strange marks.
I thought you might, Gabriel. What's that? What was that? Just grabbing stuff off
This
the ground.
is... It's a piece of brick.
It's a piece of brick.
These would seriously clash with my decorating scheme.
The marble and
Leaving? Ooh, no, it's just me and the tombs.
the tomb is sick.
No, thanks.
Picked up that brick without hesitation.
No, thanks.
The marble and granite tombs are quite heavy.
Alright. Is that everything, or is there another screen in this place? What's up, Rich? Oh, there's another screen here. It's right.
The tomb,
So one of these is going to be unlocked.
the marble. The Wright family tomb. Several of Gabriel and Grant's family members are laid to rest here.
Okay. Is there anything I was meant to do while I was here? Do a sketch or anything? Well, we can tell Gran that we visited at least, if nothing else.
The tomb is not the
Yeah, alright. Oh, there is one more screen over here. Good look. I like how important the hair was to casting the actual actor in the second game, because they talk so much about the hair in this game, and they nailed it. Getty.
The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Getty.
Huh.
There's a small marble plate near the tomb. The plate is locked in position. There's a
Alright, we'll come back with the key at some point. Good to know that's there, though. Unless they left the key in one of those pots, urns, what have you. Maybe we could check for a key under the doormat? Maniac Mansion style? Alright. Let's head on out. See where else we have not visited. It's a very good point to mention that Dr. John wouldn't have known of our lady friend if she wasn't, I mean, considering she's a Getty and, you know, he's in that grave area once a day. Alright, let's check out the Moonbeam residence. I suppose we can learn some more on the subject matter.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so.
It's like another sucker.
My name is...
Wait, Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Sorry, I already gave away my bookstore gift certificate to that
Actually,
hot dog
Dr. John
vendor.
told me.
I don't have any
You have
cash.
come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Let's chat.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
Hard to tell how old she is from that.
Tell me about yourself.
Maybe she'll tell us.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How'd you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression.
I'm no
yes.
Cassie McSpells.
What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I am a voodoo yen.
That is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodoo yens are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
Tell me anything at all.
Oh.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything at all.
Still a young woman?
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago.
Guess not.
I am well versed in the magical art.
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been my first conjured image for a voodoo practitioner as well.
Tell me anything at
Not
all.
to profile.
Dr. John sends me many seekers such as yourself.
Tell me anything at all.
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
Tell me.
I haven't always lived in...
Tell me.
I can't.
There.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
Wow.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodoo yen's work is protecting her clients from the spell of others.
Even the genie couldn't make people fall in love with each other.
Protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
For a nominal fee, of course.
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Yeah.
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
Everyone gets all agitated when I bring up the voodoo murders. I know it's because I'm talking about murders, and, you know, it's a tense time here in New Orleans, but it just seems to incriminate everyone. I can't not
so
think that.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodoo yen's power. If people don't believe, there is not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur, things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
It's a good point. If two people hire her services and they're working against each other, who wins out?
What can you tell me
Which
about
gree-gree works out in that case?
New
Wins
Orleans
out.
is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Be specific.
It is my favorite place
Oh
in
my
the
God.
world.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
It's in Louisiana.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell
Do
me.
you have any idea what Caprice
She's gotta know, right?
means?
No. No, I don't.
Liar.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
She ruled voodoo in New Orleans for 100 years, they say.
Kind of sounds like Sally Fields in Steel
Do you know
Magnolia.
anything about Marie Laveau?
I'm sure a historian could help you with that.
Dr. John.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Her snake. Tell me anything at all. I did get that one
Where'd you get
scale.
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated,
Oh,
so I offered to buy her.
that's nice.
It's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
Almost sounds like
I
Griswold.
only know what the spirits tell me. Monsieur, I am sure they know better than we.
Which makes me think of vacation.
How'd you learn to handle Grimwald?
I told you a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Oh, fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One
Can't have
must
any
be very
competing
careful with
gree-gree
such
makers in this
things.
town.
Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
Are you sure you wouldn't consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
I told you I couldn't do that.
Are you sure you wouldn't consider...
I told...
Alright.
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
Yeah.
I won't make you wait, Monsieur Knight.
Alright.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Alright. He's like, frightened's not the word. I haven't seen such excellent dancing in a Sierra game since Thiefy McSteels and the Ring of Mushrooms and
Truly
Spielberg.
inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it.
Snake's like, what just happened?
Could I ask you...
Certain.
Give me an
Do
example.
it again.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Give me an example.
Here's an old hoodoo Dr. Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue.
Tongue?
And if the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
Magenta Snakes looks a little sickly, but Gabriel would still rather not stick his hand in the cave.
Think of this scale.
Since Magenta has a snake, it might be the best not to discuss the snake scales with her.
I mean, I didn't like rip it off of a living snake. I happened upon this, you know.
Could I ask you...
Sir. What about...
Help.
It...
Did I do something while she was doing that? Yeah, I'm stuck on this. Can't click out.
Magenta's...
Ah, there we go. Didn't know that was a thing. I was just mesmerized.
Gabriel grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is
There we go.
otherwise occupied.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't even see. I thought it was stuck on that shield icon last time.
They are truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certain.
All right. See if we have anything to show her. Besides the snake skin. Message. She should be up on this, right?
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Oh,
Excellent.
the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
Let's see. Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever wrote this wasn't very good.
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and a J, and then... Okay, this part makes sense. It says, conclave tonight, bring... then there's more nonsense. F-W-E-T-K-A-S-H.
What cash?
That last bit might mean cash.
Fresh
Fresh
cash?
cash? It doesn't make much sense.
That's okay, thanks. DJ Conclave. K-A-S-H. It's a start.
I'm
Better
happy I
nothing.
could help.
Okay. So we looked at that already. Anything?
Gabriel magnifies the shed skin
Yeah,
from
something's-
Magentia, Moonbeam's snake. The snake scales are hued
Does
brown.
not match.
They don't match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain. It's the shed.
All right. Well, thanks for the time.
Please remain seated within the protective circle. There are spiritual...
Thanks for the warning.
I'm gonna leave.
Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
May the protection of the snake god go with you.
Thanks.
What's the name of that snake god again? Okay. Well, Dr. John, have anything else to say after that?
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Miss.
DJ, Dr. John. I hear you. But I'm also like,
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue.
Tony, that flirt option's gonna be there one of these times.
Tell me more about...
I've given you as...
Tell me...
You have tapped.
I already talked to her.
There is
You're sure...
I am...
Can I, like, look at your snake?
A very large...
Alright, nothing new there.
Goodbye,
What?
Where else haven't we been today? I've been back to the drugstore. I can go knowing this guy again.
Hello.
And here we go. Checking these places every day. You never know what you might get.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Oh, bienvenue, Madame Cousin. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a slip knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Maybe that's why we're having nightmares.
Oh,
Someone's got a gree-gree on us.
Well, you're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's
It's
intervention.
like, that's not gonna do anything.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too, and you're gonna whip any old no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them round to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put
Good
stomach
Lord.
powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames.
Meanwhile, these guys are just
I
cleaning
feel
up.
Misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard dust, and put it under her front porch step.
Wow.
That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust. Right
Then
here.
Mrs. Lefevre comes in
The blessed
minutes later.
Virgin will grant me her protection. I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though it don't hurt to be proactive none neither. Now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It is nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
You got quite the racket going on here, man. Hey, like Gabriel said, he doesn't begrudge a man or, anyway, any way to make a buck. If you can make a living, more power to you. Let's see. What do you think of this snake skin?
Do you know anything about snake scales?
I got some snake root and snake powder, but I order them wholesale. I don't handle snakes. I don't like them.
Yeah, we found that out yesterday. Any new dialogue options?
Can I ask?
Whatever, man.
That customer of yours, the little old lady,
Customer?
the woman I saw in here, Madame Cazeneuve, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazeneuve. You see, I'm doing some research and...
I can't tell you anything about her.
It's I can't... Tell me, how did...
Why should I discuss my...
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know.
Have you ever...
Marie, she's somebody from...
What? I didn't... You did? You...
Said it yesterday.
Do you know...
I've already...
What?
If you're not from round... Look, I don't have...
What do you know?
Fair enough.
What would Gabriel do with that?
What did the sign say?
The sign says,
Huh.
Special Saint Jean Eve, Lagnappe, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Read the poem every day out always gives us hints.
The mask appears to be made from a real crocodile head.
It is a sight. Wow.
The map, that doesn't... To get the mask, Gabriel would have to buy it.
Can I buy anything in here? I don't seem to have any money.
That does...
Is there anything you need to talk to him after I read that sign?
Can I ask...
Whatever, man.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year. Voodoo.
What goes on
John's
exactly?
Eve.
I couldn't say.
I feel like you can.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
I've said all I'm going to say about it.
What would...
I don't want...
The shelf hold. The sign says, in this case, the poster reads, the mask appears. The Dixieland Drugstore. Root, the dust on the small... The dust is nearly as old. Herbal. To get the mask. There is nothing.
Something going on with that mask. Alright. I don't know about the Napoleon House. Nothing new there. Crime scene, Getty Estate. Let's head back to the... I didn't realize they were right next to our bookshop. Let's see if Grace has got any leads.
Phew, it's humid out there. Made it back, though.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Grace would have a fit. Gabriel selects.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Seele feurigen Atems
Got a minute?
Any new
Could you
research
Sure.
requests? There you go.
I need you to look up a Madame Cazeneuve.
Madame Cazeneuve? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend, Malia Gedde, was?
Grace, Cazeneuve's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you.
Ah,
Okay.
She's
I'll see what I
right.
can find. Anything else?
might be it for
can't think of
today.
Okay.
Another successful day, I'd say. Any messages
Do you have
today?
messages?
Nope.
Okay.
Tell me about you.
What else do you...
Anything new?
Just
I just got my master's in history in class.
Yeah, we talked about all that.
nothing.
Suit yourself.
Okay.
It's time to close shop.
So it is. Have a nice night.
Good night, Grace.
You too. See you tomorrow.
Buy yourself a second outfit on me. Help yourself to a George gift certificate. I'm telling you, one of these days, somebody's gonna like stalk her home. The way they set up this scene, it's just designed for you to just think something ominous is gonna happen. We're gonna have that same nightmare again. Should I just click through it at this point if this is gonna happen every single night? I can't click through it. That's disappointing. The dagger and the snakes, that was interesting. Every time it ends the same way. Oh, that expression was a bit different. Yeah, that was a little different. Where's my paper, kid? No paper today? Drawn up axes above. I saw it there to conspire, but it was in the city of the dead that I found my heart's desire. There it is. I was gonna say.
I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Cazeneuve. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great, thanks.
I haven't seen a single customer in
Now,
here.
are you going to tell me what happened yesterday with Malia Gedde, or is it just too embarrassing?
Little A, little B.
Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
The star out tonight.
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested? She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
Huh?
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear.
Oh.
And you're right. You should be jealous of Malia Gedde, as should every woman on this planet.
Her animation wasn't
never
all
mind.
that.
I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.
He's incorrigible. All right. Save this as day 3. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you.